So cool. So obviously we're doing our market outlook. Obviously we're gonna continue the boot camp next week. So what we are gonna do on Tuesday next week is we are gonna do the next episode next week. Obviously, I said next week like seven times. Maybe say it one more. But we're gonna do top-down analysis. So basically everything I think the last bootcamp episode we was putting it all together and going through examples of the trading plan. What we're gonna do, one sec, Justice AC, I'm sweating. Yeah, and I'm gonna go through full top downs because where I notice a lot of people go wrong in their trading is like they know what schematics are, they know how to validate it, but they're applying concepts in the wrong order, and that's where the inconsistency comes from. There is a very specific order in which we have to apply it, which is the order I taught you it. But again, we'll go through that next week on Tuesday. Full top downs from scratch. So we've got some really good content to come. Now, let's kind of get into the actual outlook side of things. So last time I checked, I doubt anything has changed. We have officially entered the longest time that the government in the US has been shut down. So I think this is one of the biggest reasons why like these major coins like Bitcoin has been suppressed. Now, honestly, like I'll be real with you, I'm like look, I'm pretty confident that the top on Bitcoin is in. Now, like where we are in this time of year, we know the end of the year the market tops out anyway. Last time we topped out when was it? It was yeah, like what, the 5th or 6th of November, something like that. And obviously we are in the 6th of November. So in terms of Bitcoin itself, like there is a small chance when the government finishes its shutdown, we could get one more leg if that is going to do it. Now, regardless, I don't think it's worth investing in Bitcoin anymore. Like I think we are going to be, this time next year, we're going to be sitting all the way down here, sub 50K Bitcoin. Um, Now, does that mean that altcoins won't move? No. Like this is what alt season literally is, where you're seeing money exit these major coins and start entering the smaller caps. Like that's why we've seen Dash, Zcash, right? A lot of these projects absolutely be ripping recently. I mean, we'll go through Dash again, but Dash hit like a 1 to 180 risk reward from the zones we shared at the start of October. I think it was the 14th or the 16th on those Zoom calls. Obviously, we spoke about the Dash buys. So I think like we are coming to the end of Bitcoin cycle. I mean, there is a small possibility we can get one more push up, and if we do, that's it. Like that is the end of it if that's the last push. In my opinion, where we are in terms of the timing and sentiment, everyone's still hoping for more buys. And I mean, we distributed back here and just fucking collapsed around the same time of year. So I think Bitcoin is pretty much over. Like I don't really have any desire to buy Bitcoin unless, look, if I do see, the cleanest accumulation in here and the government shutdown finishes, all right, cool. That's our last sort of push before death. But realistically, the most thing that makes sense just to make everyone just die and lose at this point. 50%, hit 40K, sub 50K, and absolutely die, making everyone lose. Because I think, like, just in terms of a sentiment standpoint, everyone still wants another bull run. So, and everyone's buying the dip. And what's going to cause maximum pain is the bear market now. It makes the most sense. Especially seeing Trump, still on social media saying, "Hey, we're going to be the crypto pioneers of the world." Like, you know, the only market top signal we haven't really got is that Coinbase is not the number one app on the App Store yet, and that the Google trend hasn't hit an all-time high. So there's still a small chance, but again, this is where, like in trading, you never know 100% what's going to happen next. You just create your if-then scenarios. So basically, I mean, if we start, well, unless we accumulate in here and send it, there's no hope for this, and it's going to be dropping. Now, of course, if you're getting involved with your altcoins, this is good for you because alt season happens when Bitcoin crashes. Like when you look at pretty much all of the alts that pumped in the last cycle, it was the same thing. We saw Bitcoin top out, right? And then we saw money start to flow because, like with crypto, there's layers, right? Like Bitcoin's the first one, that's the one everyone gets in first. And then people discover, oh my God, there's Ethereum. Oh my God, there's Solana. Oh my God, these other little coins inside of these networks. So the money like trickles down like a waterfall. And that's why you can still see these alts pump. And and again, just kind of reiterating what we mentioned on Tuesday, you shouldn't be buying a coin that doesn't meet your trading plan anyway. Everything we apply in Forex, indices, futures is the same thing on crypto. So use your trading plan and follow it. So kind of the main thing I'm going to be looking at on Bitcoin is this monthly, is also the monthly candle close as well, and the weekly candle closes. Because if we look at the weekly candle close, right, if we are going to get one more all-time high, we don't want to be seeing this monthly candle close low, right? If we start seeing this monthly candle, weekly candle start closing below here, yeah, game over. Again, like economics in terms of where we are in the cycle, we are coming to the top. My thing is now, is this going to be it? This is our distro that melts us, or are we going to get one more push up before we actually get that final sort of death on Bitcoin? Now, again, altcoins, like I mentioned, right? Just because Bitcoin crashes doesn't mean you need to be short in your altcoins, right? Because they are alternative coins. And again, when you look at like things like Bitcoin dominance, when this starts dropping, this is when you're really going to see your alts pump. Like, I mean, last cycle, shit, these were pumping in December. That's when we got the major alt season. So can you start seeing alts and can you still see alts run now in the next few months? Yes, they can. But don't be the guy who's starting to sell. Well, obviously your entry is the most important thing, but if you have bought something, don't just blindly start selling because Bitcoin's crashing. Like all of your decisions need to be logical and go following the plan and not emotional. Um, so if we just kind of have a quick recap on Dash for a second, obviously yesterday I sent the old. Oh, I think we're getting this pump. Yeah. So obviously yesterday we sent this little chart saying, okay, if Dash can start, giving an accumulation in here, well, obviously we never hit the 50, but obviously price has retested the top and mitigation can occur from the top. Let me see volume real quick. We saw a lot of, yeah, we've got some volume pumping on this. So, I mean, I'm going to try and look for some more re-entries on Dash. The only thing I'm not a fan of is that this Asia low is intact. So there's another chance we can get another sweep in a micro in here. And, I'll add more positions to this. Or if we do come in here a micro, I'll add more positions on this. And then I'm going to be rallying this to like 150, 160. And then after 150 and 160, where I'll see what we start doing around. I mean, the 50 looks weird because I'm on logarithmic. But once we start hitting like 250, I'll be taking partials. 390, I'll be taking partials. And of course, once we hit that 500 region, I'll be taking, final volume off the table. Obviously, we can still pump a little bit higher than that. But obviously, we're just going to have to, you know, play the market accordingly. Take partials as you can. You see it start distributing, get out of the market and take your profits. So for now, in terms of Dash, I will set some alerts in here and I will be looking for some entries potentially today on this or tomorrow. So let me just quickly send this in the old chat. But does everyone like understand what we're doing with Dash? Like everyone pretty clear on what to do with this, or anyone have any questions regarding the technicals? So I'll wait for a micro in here. I mean, again, this is pretty much this is gonna be insane. If this hit all-time highs, this would be the best trade of my career. It did spike at like a 1 to 130, well, a little bit higher actually. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be insane. So keep an eye in here, and then keep an eye obviously for that to occur too. That's still a possibility. So don't be scared if it breaks this little Asia low. This Asia low doesn't maintain any structure, so it's not a must that it has to accumulate in there. Same thing with this. Now, it's still a possibility that we could even get a bigger shakeout as well. Where there's a lot of demand, a lot of volume in this thing, and it's looking like it's starting to rip. So let's see. I mean, we've got a little descending wedge coming in. You can see multiple, drives in this. All right, multiple orders of buyers coming in. All right, plenty of them. Just are we going to continue here or get another shakeout before we go higher? That's the main thing on this. Send this to the group. Cool. Kieran, I got a thesis about Dash and Zcash, the privacy coins, look for the times the Bitcoin BTC, BTC top when Dash Zcash bottom start rallying. Yeah, that makes sense, bro. What am I buying it on? A leverage or spot? It's entirely up to you. No, I'll take some leverage and spot, but this one was a leverage. Or do you mean like the platform? Cool. Right. So let's quickly check Forex Factor as well. A platform, Binance. 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 This one. Waller today, Waller speaking. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is speaking well, more than a couple hours. But yeah, I mean, what else have we had come out this week? Let's see. Did we get the? Oh, we did get ADP come out. So labor market a little bit stronger. Here we go. So US economy adding more private jobs. Okay. So are we gonna get NFP tomorrow? I think they took it off. Motherfucker, they did take it off. So it's hot. I mean, obviously, this is the only labor market data we've got to go on. And again, it's really like the economics at this point is a little bit harder to go off because we don't have data. Like we literally have the government is shut down, so we have no data. So all we can do is use what we have. Obviously, we're not really getting any inflation data. We're not getting proper labor data. So it is, again, harder to know what's going on with economics now. So at this point in time, like, I'm not going to be super aggressive trading whilst we're in a government shutdown because we're not having data. And again, like, as traders, it's also your job to kind of be able to have your risk appetite and say, wait, this is a scenario where I'm more aggressive. This is a scenario where I'm less aggressive. You know, like you heard me say it on prior calls before. Like today, guys, we are being aggressive. Today, guys, we're not being aggressive. And like you need to have that mindset to wait, if I'm not being aggressive, it's okay. And that doesn't mean I'm being unproductive, not trading. Sometimes it's better to not trade and not be on the charts rather than trade and be on the charts, you know? So based just on this recent ADP data is showing a small increase in the labor market recently. It's getting a little bit better. Now, what sort of implications can that have? So, if the labor market is getting stronger, right, and we know that inflation is starting to creep up a little bit, what do you think could happen in the future? What do you guys think? Obviously, I'll tell you the answer, but what do you guys think? Yeah, potential hikes, right? So now, obviously, we know what markets can price this in. So what we want to check is our bond yields. So I mean, right now, I mean, oh my God, what was that? Jesus Christ. Now, the only thing is, like, we don't have any data. So I can't sit here and say we are officially risk off until this government shutdown finishes and we start getting more consistent data. Based on everything we've had and we just had rate cuts, we should still remain in that risk on narrative, right? Especially now we got earnings reports coming out like crazy this week. And I mean, they're all pretty much negative 500. They're all pretty much good, pretty much all the major ones that we need to pay attention to. Obviously, like remember when you're analyzing this, you can't just look at all like you can't like for example the sizes. So when you're looking at earnings, you go to this website, TradingView Heat Maps, and you have to know what is the size of that company. The English website would be great. All right. There we go. And you need to know what size that company is and how much weight they have. So, like, for example, if we see earnings come out from Dash, right? Like, I don't really care what happens with that one, not the crypto, right? The DoorDash, I don't really care what happens with them. Or fucking, what is this? DAES. I don't really care what happens with these earnings because this is not a heavily weighted company that makes up the S&P 500 like Nvidia, Apple, ABGO, you know, Google, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan, Microsoft, Meta, Netflix, right? Amazon, Walmart, Tesla, like XOM, like the bigger the squares, the more influence they're going to have. So of course, if you start seeing all of them start trending negatively, of course, right? This the market's going to crash. But the point is, like when you're looking at earnings, it's really easy. Like if earnings are, you know, doing well, stocks should continue higher, assuming we're in a risk-on environment and the Federal Reserve, you know, we're seeing inflation come lower and seeing a strong labor market. But the point is, where we're going to start seeing soon the economy shift because seeing inflation uptick and overall there's been a weakened labor market. This ADP for me isn't enough to say the labor market is strong or recovered. I can't say that yet because again we don't have any data. So the only thing we have to go off is all the data that happened before, the recent Fed's decision, which was a rate cut, and the earnings we have. I think once the government opens again and we start getting more consistent data, we should start then seeing data to support that risk off narrative. But for now, I'm going to remain risk on. Um, but I do think the end is very, 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 very near. So basically, with economics for now, for like your indices and your currencies, we need to really wait for this government shutdown to finish until we can officially change our bias. But when I say near the end, like especially with Bitcoin, we know in terms of economics, like it's a very strong possibility this is the all-time high on it, and we are going to see that fat crash unless we just get the government shutdown ends very quickly, and then we just get this heinous euphoria before the absolute death. So that's sort of how I'm looking at it. I'm bearish on Bitcoin, meaning I'm either looking for that or one more UTAD to send it. There are my two scenarios on Bitcoin. Again, in terms of your other coins, I still think we're going to see pumps on the alts, right? Especially where we are seeing Bitcoin dominance start to fall now. That is going to be your alt season. And again, alt season always happens last. And again, everyone always says alt season's not happening, the markets are dead. And then what happens? Alt season and the markets rally. Again, when I say alt season, that doesn't mean Bitcoin has to rally. Again, if you look last year or last cycle, right? We put that all-time high in around November, right? Pretty much where we are now. And what happened? Alts fucking rallied whilst Bitcoin dropped. Right, but obviously, treat each coin independently, look at the charts. Well, we know that alts can start to rally. That's your economic reasons. Obviously, make sure the coin has good tokenomics. There's reasons for the coin to be profitable. There's a strong community behind it, right? But of course, look at the chart, make sure it meets your trading plan, and don't just blindly buy because you heard any person talk about a crypto. Like, I'm going to be real, and some of you won't like this answer. If you ape into a coin, what do I mean ape? Monkey brain, not thinking, jumping in blindly, and you haven't done analysis on it, you deserve to lose that money because that is a lesson that you need to have. And for me, I used to do that all the time, right? I'd always, like my first cycle, I would just ape in coins because I heard about it and I wouldn't apply my technical plan. And all of my coins, I'd be sitting in a bull run and all my coins in my portfolio sitting down because I didn't apply the technicals. So when it comes to your coins, right? If you've got coins that are down, it's probably because you didn't apply the technical plan. And it's okay because now you've realized that and now you know what to do moving forward, which is doing what? Find a schematic, wait for it to mitigate, and then wait for it to give those lower time frame confirmations. ETH, yeah, I mean it's a very major cap. Oh, it's a possibility we can get another run on this. It is. I mean, I don't think ETH even made an all-time high yet. So no, ETH hasn't even really made barely. So yeah, probably one more. But we'll have to see. If we look at, we'll come into indices a little bit later. I mean, just quickly check up with currencies. All right, so we end up sweeping this high on the dollar. All right. So this could be, I think we're not getting any like signs of sellers on this. And again, like we've been pretty much seeing this appreciate since that government shutdown. So I don't think until the government shutdown ends, we'd see any more continuations to the downside, unless we're setting up for, excuse me, unless we are setting up for, excuse me, unless we are setting up for a redistro. Again, we got Waller speaking later. I don't think it's going to create much volatility. Look, one second. Oh God, what is going on? All right, I think my girl's downstairs cooking some spicy stuff, and yeah, cool. All right, no, I mean, yeah, I'm not really doing anything with currencies today. We can look at gold. Gold, I'm still waiting for a sell-off. Like, I mean, there's a small chance we can get another all-time high on this, but to be honest with you, like, after seeing everyone fucking queue up outside to buy gold, like, top's pretty much into me. One second, what is going on? My throat is like burning. My girl's cooking some chilies or something downstairs, bro. Jesus. So yeah, I mean, like I am the only thing that gets me to try. I want to short gold. Um, yeah, like I mean, I'm not a buyer anywhere where we are right now. Oh, we're accumulating. Well, where are you? You're in the middle of nowhere. So I'm looking at this to be an accumulation to shake out and build a redistro. That's how I'm looking at this. Now again, now for me, like, could this be the spring? I don't have a lot of faith in that, and there's not a lot of probabilities. I mean, possibility, yeah, anything can happen, but probabilities, I think it's quite low. And reason being is like, if we're gonna catch a spring here, we need volume. We've got zero volume in here. We've got zero volume spike. You know, the only time we got the volume was pretty much at all-time high, and there was obviously we've been selling off since then. So what I really want to kind of see with gold is like, I think one more push up. Because again, like, just think of the like emotional market cycle for a second, right? Like this was pretty much prime euphoria, right? People are lining up to buy gold at $4,400 an ounce. So that is prime euphoria, right? So I think we're sort of in like a complacency stage now, where oh my God, you know, buy the dip, market's gonna rally. Wait a minute, my investments are good. Why is the rally not occurring? Oh no. That is what makes the most sense in terms of sentiment. Um, yeah, and again, just in terms of technicals, we've distributed, we've broken market cycle. So for me, the next area of demand is sitting around like what? I mean, at a push, 3,500, but realistically, like 3,300 an ounce. So yeah, I want to short this. I mean, I'm not a shorter. I'm not a seller in here. I still think this is all part of an accumulation. But again, why am I not buying it, Kieran? It's an accumulation. Well, for me, where is it, right? We are nowhere. We're boofed. So the only thing that can make you play is like obviously we know that sometimes you can play a spring model, but you need volume, you need a cum, booth, and a reaccum, which we have none of that. So what affects gold and silver fundamentally? The economic cycle. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the use cases they have in the real world. I mean, things with gold, like it's very interesting because sometimes it switches its sort of, I don't want to say use case, but sometimes it can be treated as a safe haven and sometimes it can be treated as a risk asset. Like, to be honest with you, it's kind of harder to like how it's harder to know if it is a risk asset or a safe haven. Like, I can't sit here and say it's one or the other because it can act as both. It really just depends on the sentiment and where we are in the cycle as well. So, and like a lot of time you can physically see the money flow. Like if we go through, let's say, a time of uncertainty and a massive economic crash, well, where are we in the overall economic cycle? Because if we're in a point where the central bank is trying to stimulate the economy and we have that flash crash, well, yeah, I mean, we're in a risk on environment, buy it up. But if we're coming to the end of that and we've had a euphoric, sentiment, like for me, that's pretty much an all-time high signal. And especially that now we're starting to transition from this risk on to risk off. What happens when we go risk off? When we see inflation spike, labor market. Oh, well, we know when inflation spikes and we have a strong labor market, what happens, right? Rate hikes come. Markets will price in risk off environment and then money exits risk assets and then goes into your bond yields. So obviously I'm not saying like again, there's a small possibility just because we don't have data to officially say, oh, we're risk on or risk off. So again, we needed more data after the government shut down to officially say risk off, but risk off is coming. It is coming very soon. Why? Obviously, the Fed have cutting rates way too late, and inflation's starting to spike up. So yeah, you can use your sentiment and you can use the economic cycle. So on gold, I mean, same thing as Tuesday. I want to see the redistro. I have zero positions on this today, and like again, don't be the guy who's sitting on here on a 1 minute just because some guru on YouTube said gold's a volatile asset and trade it. No, like where are you higher time frame? Like if you're sitting in here on a 1 minute time frame during the blue box, you are a crackhead. Like no offense, but like you have to again know where you are on the higher time frame. You are in an active accumulation in the middle of nowhere. So we have no clue who's driving this. It is a straight gamble now. And if you're trying to buy in here, I mean, yeah, you're straight gambling at this point. Always make sure you can build a narrative and you're coming into POIs. You're seeing volume come in. We have no volume. We're no POI. Next area of demand is all the way down here. So yeah, I'm not really going to be touching this unless I either get the redistro or come down to demand. So I'm just going to kind of scooch away from gold. Again, currencies are pretty dry. The only thing I think I'm going to even try to trade is maybe indices, and we can do a little recap on these. So obviously, where was we on Tuesday? We were sitting. Where was we sitting on Tuesday? I'm probably going to try and short these today, by the way. But on Tuesday, where was we sitting on Tuesday? Tuesday on our call, right? So on our call on Tuesday, obviously we said, all right, cool. If we are going to play this as a potential, this was before the open, right? We said if we are going to play this at all, we would need to see these lows swept at the open, volume come in, reaccumulation, and of course we was looking at comparable strength. I was looking at ES, and we were saying that on Tuesday we want to start seeing some strength on these, and we also said we want to start seeing I think it was Dow. Yeah, we want to see Dow give a small boost on the lower time frame. And well, what did we get from there, right? So right off the bat, when I saw the open swept to the highs, for me, again, this is key. Like this is important. Please, like, pay attention to this. This will literally change your trading. What did we see at the open? You guys tell me. Where did we sweep at the open? Up or down? We did. I didn't put the blue box on. Sorry. Yeah. What did we sweep at the open? Did we open? Are we sweeping to the upside or downside? Where's the manipulation at the open? Up or down? Down? There's definitely not down. Yeah, upside, right? We're sweeping to the upside. All right. Now, where are we? Are we in demand? Nope. All right. We're in a bearish market cycle, all-time highs. Right? No manipulation at the open to the downside. What do distributions do? Distributions, and shout out to you guys remember Pips of Persia's definition. Distributions are manipulations of the highs, followed by breaks to the downside. Accumulations and manipulations of lows, followed by breaks to the upside. So, what are we doing at the open? In premium, manipulating the highs. Where do you think we're going to go next? Potentially down. So, once I saw this, I was pretty much done with it. Obviously, we then created the redistro, and I think I ended up falling asleep, to be honest with you. And then obviously yesterday we came back and mitigated in here. I couldn't find any entries on this. It didn't really give anything. But what I have started to observe is a potential ascending wedge, not a lot of organization on it, right? But what I want to try and play today is a redistro on this. So you can see we've started to accumulate. I mean, it's ugly as fuck, right? So what I want to try to see if we can do is get a sweep to the upside at the open, break down, and then play the redistro, sweep these Asia lows, and basically take it down to these Asia lows. I mean, we can still sweep this high. We've got liquidity here, so it can still do something like this before going lower. And obviously, I think it's been a Thursday, and if we do get this, I will try and play counter trend models on redistros with micros to the downside. But Kieran, we're bullish. Well, higher time frame we are, but where are we? And we've got room to come lower. We've got fucking. I don't ever see Asia print the bottom of a new leg on indices. So for me, I don't. Why would Asia the session where like why would Asia session print the low? Doesn't make any sense. New York is where the highest volume comes in. So yes, we'll talk about laggers and leaders in a second, right? So for me, I want to try and short this, right? ES and Dow broke market cycle. We broke the market cycle. We definitely did not break the market cycle. We are bearish from here, all right? So in terms of laggers and leaders now, on a bearish scenario, right? We are lagging on ES, right? So ES gave a sweep of this redistribution. So at the moment, Nas is leading to the downside. Oops. Nas is leading to the downside. Same with ES. Now we've got a shit ton of sell volume that came in up here as well. Um, and so let's see the Asia. Do we have the Asia lows? I think we do. Yeah, a shit ton of volume up here. So again, I will try and play a redistro on this. So if we get that, and we see some micros in here, I am going to short these down to sweep these Asia lows. I have no reason for this to be the bottom. I have zero reason for this to be the bottom. I'm a seller on these today. If I mean, could I be wrong and could these go higher? I mean, be my guess. But when have you ever seen Asia print the fucking bottom on indices? You know, you don't see it. You know what I mean? So why? Because Asia has zero, well, not zero, has very, 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 very low liquidity. So I want these to come a little bit lower, right? So yeah, I mean, counter trend, you always have to risk less. Yeah, so I want these to definitely come lower, man. I'm not a buyer of these where we are today. I'm not interested in it. Can I be wrong? Sure. I mean, higher time frame is bullish. You know, economics are bullish, but where we are, I'm open to playing a counter trend trade down to demand if we can see this redistribution. All right, I'm definitely open to it. I have no reason for this Asia low to be the absolute bottom. And to be honest with you, I just see more effort on being filled on the sell sides at this point. So I'm just seeing sell orders being filled. I could be wrong, you know. I'm always happy to be wrong, but I would rather be wrong trying to short and not at this point in time. I'd rather be wrong trying to short and not take a trade than buy early and be and lose because we've got a lot of room to come lower. So I think we've got yeah, I think we've got a lot of room to come lower on these, to be honest with you, especially that with that Asia low. Now we've got lots of liquidity that we can come and fill. Come take these. Come take these. You know, we've got imbalances, we've got room to come lower, we've got unmitigated 50s. So I still think we got a bit of room to come lower in this. Again, like I saw that Dow did sweep this high, right? But again, this could just be my manipulation. Right, we've got all these lows here. Again, liquidity doesn't have to be taken. But all these Asia lows, there's no manipulation. Manipulating the highs. Can I now see this break to the downside and short this off? I'm not interested in trying to buy where we are today. Again, I mean, look, if we do end up, shooting higher and reaccumulating, cool. I'll revisit it tomorrow and buy it up to all-time highs again. But again, where we are, we've got a shit ton of room to come lower. So for me, like, if I buy today in here, I would not be comfortable doing that. So I would want to see these come a little bit more lower personally. Again, we're starting to see a little rally pre-market. So maybe we see sort of pre-market rally, open, and then some sort of sell-off to the downside. All right, my bro, take care. Yeah, I mean, I don't think today's even going to be a super long call unless anyone's got questions or charts they want me to review. But I just want to see the sweep it up at the open and then try and play the redistro to the downside. To be honest with you, again, like if like obviously higher time frame, again, I'm buying this, but today I don't know if there's going to be necessarily a potential buy on it. I mean, if we start to, we look at the monthly candle, right? Let's see, where are we? Are we putting a wick on the Dow? Let's see, yes. Let's see, yes. Let's see, NAS. How are we printing up on the monthly? Yeah, NAS still got a bit of room to come lower. How's the weekly closing? Weekly, got a bit of room to come lower. How are we on this? Bit of room to come lower on this as well. Yeah, I want to see if we just get a tiny. Again, I want to buy it long term. Like, please don't confuse that. I just want this to come a little bit lower because I don't have much manipulation to the downside. Now, of course, could this be setting up for a bigger reaccumulation? That it could be the spring. Hey, maybe. But again, if I'm buying here with no manipulation, I'm not. I don't buy with no manipulation. Simple as that. Backtesting, yes, they could be. Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's see. Good job for sending charts, my bro. Yeah, buying gold. Um, well, why is that a reaccumulation for you? That's a reaccumulation? I mean, so let's look on the gold chart, right? So where was this? This was yesterday, right? So when was it? Yeah, so this is yesterday, right? So let's go back. So looking at this chart, let's look what we got. So okay, higher time frame. Okay, we know we got. So what do you do? Let's go on like the 4 hour. So we go on the higher time frame. All right, cool. We got a bullish leg from here. Okay, so we continue. Okay, cool. So now when we go on the lower time frame, we're trying to see is the lower time frame bullish or bearish. If the lower time frame is bearish, we're waiting for it to retrace into demand or waiting for it to reaccumulate. Cool. So we go to a lower time frame. All right, have are we bullish or bearish on the lower time frame? So going on a lower time frame, we just broke demand. So we just broke demand. So we said if we're bullish, we're waiting for that or waiting for that. So we just broke demand. All right, what gets you trying to buy anywhere in here at this point? You're in a bearish leg, in a bearish leg after a booth. And what have your buyers achieved? Where's your organization? And if anything, you're in a potential of the STB in the middle of a trading range. So if this is a larger schematic with a smaller one in it, I mean, this is phase A, stops the trend, phase B, STB and B. If this is a smaller schematic, that's phase A of it, and that's phase B of it. So what makes you want to buy in phase B? A few weeks ago, you had people lining up outside of a store to want to buy this. So what makes you want to buy it? You said counter trend. Counter trend. Technically, the trend is up, so counter trend would be selling down. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what gets you to a lower time frame in here. Like I think where you're going wrong is you're looking at the market like maybe highs and lows. Like oh my God, it broke that. It didn't break anything. You have to look at the market in terms of horizontal ranges, 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 ranges. And then once you've got your range, you can assess what phase you're in. Are you in phase A, B, C, D, or E? At this point, like if I'm looking at, okay, there's a range, there's two scenarios. One, this is a giant accumulation, and this is phase B. Or two, this is a smaller accumulation, this is phase A, and then going to phase B. Can I go over a counter trend trade? I mean, yeah, bro, we've got plenty. Again, just so I can give you something to reference it. I'll explain it, but just for a reference, we have done some videos on this. Let me send you the link. So there's a video called the counter trend model training, bro. I'll just ping it for you in the Zoom chat. So you can give that a watch. But I mean, what do you need? What do you need for a counter trend, right? You've got a distro, you've got a booth, and you need a redistro. So we don't have any of that yet. You can't join the Zoom on your iPad. Invalid meeting ID? What meeting ID are you putting in? 835 5675 0352. I'll ping it for you here. You try that. Or I'll ping it quickly again in the I'll quickly put it in the group, the one we can all talk in the group really quick. I'll just quickly ping it in the general chat. Maybe that'll help. Try that. Can we go through lagger and leaders? Not the entry type where we play the one that sweeps, but what pair to play as sometimes. all three can be a little confusing. So, well, okay, so if yeah, pretty easy, bro. So let's say, for example, hold up, I lost my pen. All right, so let's say, for example, you're just looking at the market trend. So wait, let's do it like this. Cool. One, two, three. Who's leading? Who's lagging? Have a guess. Okay, perfect. The one I pinned in the other chat was different. No, the one no, no, the one I sent in the chat is the same link here. Cool, right? Tony, you're right. Two is lead, or maybe it was an old one, but okay, you got it. So two is leading, definitely. Three is lagging, definitely, and then number one's kind of in the middle. Yeah, exactly. So basically, when you're looking at higher time frames for laggers and leaders, it's are you bullish or bearish? If you're bullish, the leader is the one that's trending higher the most. If you're bearish, it's the one that's trending down the most. So if I'm just assuming a bearish narrative on a lower time frame for now, right? Right. If we're selling this, ES is lagging because it has swept Tuesday's high, if assuming we're bearish. And this is leading the weakness because it's got more weakness because it hasn't traded as higher. If we're bearish, this is lower compared to ES is higher on the sell-off, if that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're right. Potentially, it has come into a higher time frame reload, but I mean, again, let's look at what we have. Right, remember, we're not pattern traders. We read into price action. So, when have you ever seen a low volume low with no news and Asia lows intact set the lows on US equities? I honestly can't really remember the last time that's happened. With all this liquidity in premium and no news to send this higher, you know? So if I'm going to assume a bearish narrative, then this would be my lagger, and this would be leading the sell-off if we are going to be bearish. So ES has swept this high. All right, I see we've got some strong. So ES has swept this high, NAS hasn't. So ES is given a manipulation. If we can get a redistro and a mitigation and a micro, we can send this lower, take those Asia lows. Does that make sense? Cool. Yeah. So obviously I'm aware that you're right, bro. It has come into a reload. It's just again like probabilities, Asia low intact, mitigating the reload and premium, fat liquidity to the downside, no organization of buyers, no volume. Look at that, bro. Look at that. You know what I mean? Like, pick up. I'm not gonna say that. But, you know what I mean? I don't really see a lot of volume in there. So, I mean, let's go back to this as the spring. We go back and look at that spring and the yes. First things first, right? Look at the volume. Second thing, time of day. You know, there was no come from Asia on. Was that low, what low was definitely not set in Asia. No way. That was just after the blue box. So yeah, I mean, again, like higher time frame is bullish. I'm aware that it's coming to the reload, but for me, I don't see a lot of organization on the buy side down here and no volume. That's why I'm not going to be super aggressive. But curious a Thursday, I don't care that it's a Thursday. I care what the chart shows me. And then I can say, okay, what day of the week it's on. So yeah. I would rather try and play a short on this today. Again, I'm happy to be wrong on this. Again, like we're not in a market environment to be super aggressive because we're in the midst of a government shutdown. You're not, this is not an environment to be super aggressive. So, let me ask you this, right? You're a big bank or an institution, you're trading billions of US dollars, trillions of US dollars, and your number one important thing before you run an algorithm is to do economic analysis. What economic analysis can you do when there's no data coming out? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, these are not times to be super duper aggressive. Um, exactly, building a house with no materials, trying to drive a car with no fuel. That's it, man. So, I mean, I know we got earnings, but I'll check this one in a sec, bro. But I don't think there's even a lot of major companies, to be honest. There's a few. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm seeing it. So I do want to see it, try and see if we get another sell-off. If we end up, right, showing major strength and we start distributing, and let's say the open ends up giving a sell-off and we end up showing major strength, a big motherfucker volume comes in, right? And then we come back, right? Let's say we start breaking above this. We come back, we micro. I probably won't buy the accumulation, but I get a micro reaccumulation in there. Yeah, I can walk it up. Fair enough. I'll buy it. But unless that happens, I'm not a fan of buying today. Again, I could be wrong. More than happy to be it. But again, as a trader, you don't look at trying to be right or wrong. You have to assess probabilities based on the data in front of you. Like you have to like think if you're in a court of law and you're trying to build evidence on a murderer and you don't have enough evidence to convict him, you can't just send him to jail. It's the same thing with your capital in your trading account. The reason why you're probably not profitable is because you're taking too many losing trades, because you're going around all gung ho and taking subpar trades with not enough evidence because you want to be in a trade. You want to be a profitable trader, so you want to take positions. So you're taking subpar setups, feeling like you're productive, feeling like you're making progress because you're acting. But remember, there's no correlation in trading. There's no correlation with action and results in terms of trading. Obviously, there's two sides of trading: pressing buttons, making money, entering trades, and analyzing and practicing. Yes, in the practice, you need to put effort. I'm not saying you don't. Yes, you do. But in the trading, pressing buttons, no effort, less effort, more money. Practicing, more effort, better skill, so that when it comes to you analyzing, you can make more money, if that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, I'm definitely aware that there is a reload in there. But where I just don't really have much manipulation to the downside, I don't want to be caught up trying to buy this in premium because like if I buy in here, like let's just say for example, okay, you go back to yesterday, all right? Yeah, I agree. Like let's say we go back to yesterday, you know. I mean, cool. I think it what does it do at the open? It does this tiny, tiny. Well, there's no manip at all. But what does it do at the open? I don't know what the fuck that is. You should not be drawing a fib on this, but I'm just kind of doing it just to try to entertain something to help you guys understand the mindset here. But there's no reason to fib this. There's no trade here. This is not valid whatsoever. I'm just trying to help you guys think for a second. Let's just say for whatever reason you fibbed this up and you wiggled in an entry for whatever reason. Don't get so excited with a potential profit. Think about what happens if it lost. That's my North Star. What happens if this trade loses? Because if this trade loses, right? And this is the thought process. What would my journal say? The Christians are like, what would Jesus do? Right? What would my journal say? If I bought that, right, let's go through Wyckoff phase and events, right? All right, if I bought that, right, where are we? Okay, we're in a reload. I gotta give you it. All right, cool. Let's validate a schematic. But it's in premium, so I need to be that aggressive. Okay, we get a change of character. What the fuck else do I have? Nothing. So if I say this, if I'm taking this trade, I'm saying, well, I'm in phase A, barely in phase B with no buy orders or drives. So if we looked at 1,000 charts like this, right, what would we want to see for 1,000 times? That. So just because of a small possibility they can do this today, why would I want to be right one time and be wrong 1,000 times? You know? And again, this is where the psychology comes in because everyone feels unproductive for not taking trades. And I think what really made the biggest switch in my trading, and again, please get this part. There's two parts. I'm not talking about the practicing and training the eye part here. I'm talking about pressing buttons, analyzing, and trying to get in a position. For that side of it, what really actually allowed me to start getting payouts, actually get funded, actually put money in my bank and spend it, and not just have something on TradingView was less effort on the analyzing, pressing buttons. Obviously, on the practicing, more effort, always practice, keep working hard. Like, don't slow down on that shit. But on the side of pressing buttons, when I started caring less, when I started not spending as much time trying to hunt for trades, I was like, I basically was like I'm trying to give you the right example of an animal, but it's like being a hunter or like a maybe I think it's a leopard. I forget the exact animal, so don't judge me on this bit. But let's say you got two creatures hunting, right? One creature might be a lion. He might be running around trying to hunt a pack of buffaloes. I mean, sure, he's an alpha, right? He might get a kill. But how much damage is that lion going to take attacking a pack of buffaloes? He's always putting bare effort. He's draining himself, potentially getting himself killed. Or I can be the leopard or the panther, right? And I can Oh, crocodile, there you go. I can be chilling and I can be watching my prey. I can learn my prey's habits. What time does my prey move? All right, cool. He moved today, but you know what? I don't need to eat today. I'm all right. Because again, mindset, abundant mindset. Universe gives you more of what you are, not what you want. I am a profitable trader. You affirm that in your mind. So if you were a profitable trader, if you were a seven, eight figure trader, you're not going to care about not taking a trade. You care about protecting your money, your eight figure account, your $100 million account. You want to protect that. You're not just in the club throwing ones. You get it? You're hunting, you're sitting there, and you're striking when the time's right. Cool, you might miss the shot, but you're going to be way more accurate and get way more kills than that lion taking all the damage, and that's the sort of approach you got to have. Don't worry about being right or wrong. Like when I trade, I don't care if my thesis comes. I mean, being real, is it nice when the market does what you say? Fuck yeah, it's nice. But in reality, that is not important whatsoever. That is the least important thing. What is nicer than being right is having a withdrawal hit your bank account and go and spending it. That is the best feeling. So to get to that point, what do you need to do? Be completely detached from taking trades, being completely detached from being right or wrong. If you can't go a week, 2 weeks without taking a trade, you got a problem. So what my advice to you guys is today, I don't think it's a high probable trading environment. In the midst of a government shutdown, in premium, room to come lower, I have no volume in here. I don't have a lot of reason to be super duper aggressive where we are now. Right? Now, what would make me want to start buying this? If we start seeing, right, major strength, more reaccumulations, right? Start breaking above these zones, and we start mitigating the micro, and fair enough, I'll get in. But where I really want to be a buyer of price from is down here. That's what makes the most sense for me. So today I'm gonna try and look for the registrar. If I get it, I'll short it. If I don't, yeah, is what it is. Then maybe tomorrow I'll look for the buy up. But we'll see what the open brings. Pay attention to today's open. If we see that spike up at the open, most likely something like this. If we see the spike down, okay, if we see the spike down at the open, and then we see volume come in and put in the spring, all right, okay, maybe buyers are here and we don't have a reason to come lower, and that reload's probably going to hold. Just again, I'm like this low here. I don't see a lot of effort in it, so I don't want to be super aggressive trying to buy in here. But again, if we were back here and we had that fat news event, heinous volume, major reaction, yeah, I'm involved. But eh, I'm not that convinced yet. If we took a scalp right now while it's building, 5 in schematic, is that like support resistance trading? I'm not sure what you're asking. Scalp where? Scalp of what? While it's building? While what's building? On the 5 minute? What do you mean? Can you maybe do you want to try and annotate and draw it? Chart right now? I bet. In between. Would you, could you maybe try and draw it if you can? I think there should be a pen on like the bottom left somewhere. Yeah, I got you. What lower time frame or just physically zoom in? By the way, if you want to unmute, you should be able to as well. Wait, there you go. Stop. All right. Like that. Okay.
I'm not sure if you can hear me.
But I don't. So
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I was asking, because it's like building right now on the 5 minute. If we scout, because it's like probably building the UTAD, so is that not like supporting resistance trading? Because it's like in
You're
between the
trying to
trading
like
range.
buy and sell type thing.
Yeah, because like, don't we need to wait for the UTAD on the 5 minute before we start shorting it?
Yeah, exactly. Like we want to, yeah, exactly. So we want to see a schematic form, right? So if, like, for example, let's say you're in a large, let's just pretend, let's just go to like a random schematic for a second. So, like, let's say, for example, you're in this distro here and you're trying to like sell, buy. Yeah, that's wrong. I wouldn't do that. What I would do is I'll wait for that hot, if that's what you meant. What I'll do is, like, for example, let's say here, wait for the whole thing to form, and obviously there's no POI, but assuming there was, then I'd wait for it to mitigate and go. There's nothing else I'm going to trade. Like I need to see a clear schematic formed, and if I can't see the schematic as formed and I can't validate phase A, B, C, D, and E, I've got nothing to trade. So every time I go into the market, what basically determines if I'm trading today or not is, can I see a schematic? Okay, if I can, has price mitigated it or created a new schematic continuing the trend? If it has, cool. Come back, retest it. I'll go to a lower time frame, take my entries. If not, there's nothing to do. So, like, the point is today, pre-market, I don't have much of a schematic yet. So my if then scenario is what I would need to see for that schematic to form, which would be, assuming we mitigated this and this is some type 4, right? And we then redistribute, that'll be my schematic. And then if it mitigated and microed, that'll be enough to get in a trade. So my if then scenario is either what do I need to see for a schematic to build, or mitigating a schematic, basically, if that makes sense. Cool. So this would not be M15. So if you're looking at M15 schematics, so it's a reaccumulation down there at the lowest form in here. It's like on a 1 minute. How do I know it's not a 15-minute one? It's because 15-minute schematics take days to build out. If you look at the duration of this, it took 9 hours and 10 hours. That's minutes. Minutes-based schematic. I mean, if we're just putting this in isolation, bro, forgetting probabilities, forgetting all of that, and you just want to, and that's another thing. When you guys send me charts, try to let me know what your objective is. Like if you're just trying to practice a schematic or if you're trying to take a trade off it, because the answer I'll give you is different depending on the scenario. Like if you're telling me, hey, right, is this just a reaccumulation? I want to spot it. Yeah, that is a reaccumulation, 100%. Why is it a reaccumulation? All right, because you've got, wait for it, you've got buyers turn into more buyers, you've got a distribution, SC, AR, right, ST, upthrust, right, well, we can sweep that high again, no we don't, right, upthrust, UTAD, test, sign of weakness slash shakeout, and then we get the sign of strength slash jump across the creek. So yeah, you got the distro, shakeout, breakout, yes, that is a reaccum. Now, if you're asking me, wait, if we just look at your, oh, I've got to check this one, bro. I'll check this in a sec. But if you're asking me, is that one I would trade? No, and it's not an M15. It'd be like on the minutes. But if it's just, hey, is it a reaccumulation? Yes, bro, it is. US oil. This is higher time frame. Got you, my bro. But good job, bro, man. It's definitely a Ryukyun for sure. You love oil, didn't you, bro? You love your oil, bro. Every session, bro, we get an oil chart from you. Good job on sending it. So, talk to me, bro. Why are we trading oil? What is going on economically? He might be an Arab. He's got that Arab money, eh? No, I think if I'm not mistaken, bro's from I think it's somewhere in Eastern Europe. If I'm not mistaken. Um, so yeah, why are we trading this? What's the first thing? Like, why are we bearish on this economically? If I'm being real with you, I have no clue why is bullish or bearish right now economically. Let's see. Where's my? I just hit my oil chart. Where is my oil chart? There we go. I only look you. I don't know. I only look for technicals. Okay, I'm gonna give you a an analogy here. You know what we're like with the analogies, right? So, cool. So, okay, cool. So you say to your girlfriend, right? Hey, babe, we are going on holiday for your birthday. Okay, and then she goes, all right, where are we going? I don't know. Okay, have you booked a plane ticket? No. Have you planned any trips? No. So, what do you mean we're going on holiday? There's no reason, right? There's no objective, no destination. You're trying to go in a car, right? And you're in your car. I say, hey, today we're driving somewhere. Where are you driving? You know, that's what economics are. They're your directions. So when you get in a car and you want to go somewhere, you need a map, you need GPS, right? So if you don't have that map or GPS, why are you looking at that market? You know, like why would sellers want to come in on this market? If I don't know that, I have no reason looking at technicals. I mean, yeah, just giving you the benefit of the doubt. So yes, this is the correct markup. You are in seek and destroy to take those lows, but I don't know what your POI is. If I was looking at a POI, I'd be using that. Yeah, I'll be waiting for that. I definitely would not have a limit there. I'll tell you that. I mean, you're on a. Why would I not have a limit on here, right? Reload. So first things first. All right, you wanna. So look what the time frame this is, bro. Dip from here to here. Look how many days that is, bro. That is what, a week, almost a price. So if it took price a week to drop from 61.50 to 60.10, and you want to go from 60.50 to 56, how long are you going to be holding this position for, bro? Remember, it took a week to go from 61.50 to 60.10. So you're like, based off that, you're looking at 3, 4, 5 weeks to go there. So you want to be in a position for a month, 2 months to catch a 1 to 5. What's your commissions like on your oil account? What's your swap fees? What's your overnight holding fees? That's going to be fucking high. So do I want to be in a position for a month to catch a 1 to 5? No. That's first off my back. Um, so it's not economically worth it for me to take that position. Now from a technical standpoint, or reload of what? What? So okay, so let's define what a reload is. A reload is the last reaccumulation or last redistribution that breaks demand or supply. So in a bearish example, you'd have this redistro that breaks this accumulation, and now you've got cause and effect. So we come here, we have a redistro. What did it break? Nothing. Haven't broke anything. So if anything, oh my God, my dog is eating the door. He wants to come in. Um, but yeah, I mean, all that liquidity, I'll probably not. I'll offer a limit in there, bro. I think it's absolutely wild. I mean, if anything, like if you do, again, I've got no reason to want to be aggressive on here, bro. So what's the economics? Why should I be aggressive in it? If anything, play a micro in there, bro. But yeah, if anything, play a micro in there, man. But I wouldn't be a seller here. I'd rather wait for that and then potentially that. But I mean, look, if you can kind of help, like, if you can convince me and build me a narrative on why we should be aggressive selling in discount today, let me know and I'll be open to it. But yeah. Destroy low from higher time frame. Yeah. Okay. But you're in that leg. So, and we haven't even mitigated the 50. So we're not in seek and destroy, we're still in rebalancing, in my opinion. Because you're what confirms seek and destroy when you mitigate supply, we haven't mitigated supply, and we've distributed and then broke lower time frame market cycle and then start redistributing. We haven't got that. So we accumulated, broke the lowest form of order flow on the lower time frame, and then we distributed and we've been stalling around. Like, okay, let's look at this, right? So sell okay, look at this. Sellers come in. Is this thing's fucking around? No, it's gone. Sellers come in, it's gone. Sellers come in, this thing is still fucking around. You know what I mean? So you're gonna fuck around, you're gonna find out, in my opinion. So like for me, if I was looking at this, where is it? It's in discount. I would be looking at this as an accumulation, potentially. SC, AR, OneDrive, ST, up for us action, STB, maybe a spring, and then maybe the something like that. And once we come up to there, we can revisit it. But yeah, if you can build me some economic reason to be aggressive on this, maybe I can be a little bit more aggressive on it. I think yeah, if you are selling in there, bro, it's really aggressive. I think you should at least wait for a micro and then even maybe a micro redistro to put the odds more in your favor. Yeah, send it, man. Send it across. Yeah, but good job, bro. Like this is how you get better, man. This is it. All right, cool. Good luck into a laptop. Or if you want, bro, I know we've got a one-to-one. We can go through it on that if it's going to take too long. Yeah, it's up to you, bro. Cool. And we've got the other questions whilst we're waiting for Brad, unless he does on his call. All right, cool. We will continue with our boot camp on Tuesday. We're going to get back into full top-down analysis trainings. And then, yeah, we'll kind of resume the boot camps as normal. Cool. All right. No worries, guys. I'll catch you all on Tuesday. We'll do the boot camp and then we'll get into an actual market outlook. I'll be active in the groups. Again, am I going to try and trade today? I will be open to it, like I said. Just final recap. UK 100. I'll take a look at it, bro. Final recap on US equities. Again, right, I've had like we can come lower. So, if we can get a redistro, micro mitigate, I'll be very open to short this down. Yeah, looks like a Ryukyuan to me. Not much of a distro, but I mean, manipulation. I'd have to see volume, see a shit ton of volume, then yeah, maybe. I tried using 100 in a while. Yeah, yeah, that's good to me, bro. Cool. But yeah, well, let's be open and see if we can get the sweep to the upside at the open, and then that sell off to the downside, and see if we can get that short today. Again, don't be super aggressive on the shorts, just because remember, like when you're counter trend trading, you be less aggressive, you throw less risk, because obviously macro is still bullish. So this is small risk. If we do get the redistros, we can try and counter trend it. Horizon then. I mean, it looks like a bullish market cycle to me. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was pretty nice. Oh, this looks pretty good. Oh, yeah, this looks good, bro. Yeah, this looks good. This looks really good. Oh my God. Oh, this looks beautiful. I'm coming to there. You got some highs, got some volume coming. Yeah, this looks really good, man. Um, mm, 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 mm. So, yeah, how about when you look at cryptos and apply your technicals on it? Yeah, wow, this looks clean, bro. You got in and out. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me, bro. I mean, could be you can easily be reduced risk on this now. Get your risk off the table. Yeah, that's good. This is Zen. Yeah, looks good, bro. Swiss franc. Oh, mate, Swiss franc makes me want to sleep, bro. 200 of you, bro. Oh wait, is it done anything? That's fine. Um, oh, is it? What's it doing now? Let's have a look. What's Swissy doing? This looks good, actually, bro. To be honest with you, keep an alert there if we get a little reaccum on this. Um, I'm gonna have to shoot in a sec because my dog is about to absolutely destroy my office door. What's this one, bro? Has my PC been slower lately? Has it? Digibyte. Digibyte. Uh, Digibyte. What? Digibyte. Oh, yeah, this looks pretty good actually, bro. Uh, yeah, this looks clean. There's the spring. Come into demand. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely accumulating, bro. This might be a good one. I mean, yeah, there's your spring. So, I mean, I wouldn't be buying now. I'll be waiting for. Mm, I'll be waiting for something like that. Wait, a little pullback on this. Yeah, that's clean, bro. I have to research what the project is and what it does, but from a technical standpoint, it's good. That's pretty good. Swissy. So I'll keep an eye on these actually, bro. Yeah, they're pretty good. Let's quickly check Peter's Swissy. Swissy. Um, my only thing I was on Swissy, bro, is like why they went through all that effort and volume to just do fuck all. You know? I think the safest play on this, bro, is waiting for a reaccum. I mean, it's accumulating. It's type 4, you're right. Um, but I think you should wait for a reaccum on this. That's the safest. Let's let the market prove it. Prove buyers are here. I mean, we're in the extreme. If we can see this distro, yeah, bro. So just like for the New York Stock Exchange, bro, just literally Google what time is 9:30 a.m. New York in my time zone. But yeah, if we can see something like that, I think that'll be good for Swissy. Um, XNO? What's this? Uh, excuse me. Do you have any other charts on this? What the fuck is this? Must be the wrong one. Um, let's see. Give me some Binance charts, please. I'm concerned about that wick. So a great safe play is that aggressive motherfucker. Oh my God, aggressive play. Let's see if it can mitigate somewhere in here. Oh, XTO? No, I'm looking at the wrong one. XTC. Wait, what? XTCOM? This one? XTCOM? Or is this the right one? Oh, my fault. X and O. It's a 2XT. Let's take a look. Is it USDC or USDT or USDTP? These lot? No. XT. These lot? Um, I think the Binance one looks a bit better. I can't find it. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty solid, man, to be honest. Um, cool. ICP is still accumulating. There you go. This doesn't look bad, bro. I mean, we can get a little mitigation on this somewhere in there. That will be pretty good. Yeah, let's see. A lot of liquidity building on that. That'll make sense. Shake out, go. That's clean. I'll set an alert on that. And let's see. I mean, these seem like good projects, bro, to be honest with you. So I'll keep an eye on these. I have to research what the project does, but yeah, pretty good. Um, Shib? What the fuck is Shib? Shiba in you? I'm good. I only look at projects that do real world things. I don't do meme coins. ICP? We getting accumulation on this? Let's go. Shake out all the weak hands. I feel sorry for everyone shorted in there. All right. But yeah, it's spring. So please, micro, go. ECAD? Reload. Reload. This one, right? Reload. Wait. Wait, I'm losing track. Hold up. What are we looking at here, bro? What one is this? This is the Xeno one, right? You got to be at 160? Damn, bro. That is a fucking sexy entry. If you retest $20, you are rich. Shit, we got all-time highs. You are a billionaire, bro. Zen's based off wait, when you I feel like you're saying different spelling. This one, right? Is this Zen? Is this what you mean? This one is one you're on, bro. I feel you, but I'm not convinced that that's a shakeout on this. Zen was Horizon? Oh God, all these tickers, bro. All of these tickers. I mean, yeah, this one looks good for a shakeout, bro. The Horizon, this one looks like it's brilliant. All right, cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I'll catch up with you lot on Tuesday. Anyone needs me, I'll definitely be in the chat. Um, yeah, cool. Anyone needs me, I'll be in the chat. I'll drop the recording shortly, and we'll continue on Tuesday. I'll catch up with you guys soon. I'll be active in the group, so if anyone's looking at anything else across New York session or any other projects, just let me know, and we'll go for it. All right, cool. Big up the Thailand football shirt. £2 from the market. Let's go. All right, see you lot on Tuesday. Take care. Bye bye.